All right, boys and girls. So today was day 5 of the math. It was from Module 2, Lesson 10. So just going over the homework helper a little bit here, just to kind of get us on the right page. So today is the last day of this packet. And after that, you're going to go to my other videos so you can learn what your weekly work is going to look like for this week. And then you're going to make sure you keep this packet very, very safe. I suggest you put it right in your book bag so you do not lose it, because these are going to be a lot of good grades for me. So I need these back. Okay. All right. So let's take a look here. So it says estimate the product, solve using an area model and the standard algorithm. Remember to express your products in standard form. Okay. So right here for this, it has 23 times 4.1. Okay, I rounded the 23 to the nearest 10, so it would become 20. And 4.1, you got to think to yourself, boys and girls, is that closer to just a 4, like a 4.0, or is it closer to a 5.0? And obviously this would be closer to a whole number of a 4. So then you would do the 2 times the 4, that's an 8. And then bring over your 1 0, so 80. So that is a good estimation. Our answer should be somewhere around 80. Then to do the actual algorithm over here, you're going to kind of pretend that the decimal is not in the problem for right now, and you're just going to multiply 23 times 41. So you would do 3 times 1, bring it down, 2 times 1, bring it down. Then you know automatically the next row you drop that 0. It's very important you remember to drop a 0. And then you're going to do 4 times 3, which is 12. So they should have had that up here. 12. So you put your 2 down here and your 1 up here. And then 4 times 2 is 8, and you add 1, and that is 9. Then you add up this answer, and you would bring down your 3. 2 plus 2 is 4, and you're going to bring down your 9. Now, the final answer is when you add that decimal back in. So, just a reminder, it was 23 times 4.1. So, the decimal is 1 spot over. So, your answer, the 94, you're going to go ahead and put a decimal 1 spot back over into the answer, making it 94.3. Now, the area model they were talking about, you only have to do that on 2 questions on the page, and I set them up for you. You'll see in a minute when we turn there. But it has you decompose 23 into 20 plus 3 over here on the side, and then 41 tenths into 40 and 1 over here, and has us write the word tenths. 3 times 40 would be 120. 20 times 40 would be 800. 3 times 1 would be 3. 20 times 1 would be 20. And then going across, you would just add 120 plus 3 is 123. 80 plus 20 is 820. Then if you add those 2 numbers together, right here it shows you if you add those 2 numbers together, you would get 943. And then you have to put the decimal back in to make it 94.3, which is the same answer above. And both of these answers are kind of close to that estimate of 80, so we knew we did it correctly. Okay, I'll turn to the next page here. Oh, goodness gracious. It's all stuck there. Here we go. Okay, so then this is just showing you some more standard algorithm and rounding it as well. So this one has 7.1, so you would round that to 7. 29, which is very close to 30, you would round to 30, giving us an approximate estimate of 210. When you do your actual problem here, you get 2059. You have to put a decimal back in because remember, there's a decimal there. So you go 1 spot back over, and your answer becomes 205.9, which is close to 210. Same kind of thing going on down here. So what I did, boys and girls, is on the next page. Oh, goodness gracious, this keeps sticking. I helped to create some area models for the first 2 problems. And then it also wants us to estimate. So let's take a look at this first problem together. 53 times 1.2. So 53, I would round down to 50. 1.2, I would round down to 1 because it's closer to 1 than to 2. So 50 times 1 would be 50. So our estimate of this answer would be around 50. Then we would do 3 times 10, which would be 30. 3 times 2, which would be 6. 50 times 10, 5 times 1 is 5. Add 2 zeros, 500. And 50 times 2, 5 times 2 is 10. Add 1 more 0. So that's how our box should look. Then you go ahead and add them going horizontally. 30 plus 6 is 36. 500 plus 100 is going to be 600. You add these up together, and you would get 636. Now we need to put the decimal back in there, which the decimal in the problem was 1 spot over. So our answer decimal is going to be 1 spot over. So it would be 63.6. Over here, you need to go ahead and do the standard algorithm. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. Drop a 0 because I'm going to the next place value. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. Add them up together, 636. The decimal was 1 spot over. The decimal goes 1 spot over in my answer. And my answer is 63.6. So you're going to go ahead and do that for the next problem here. Down at the bottom, it just asks you to create some estimates and then to do the standard algorithm. And your answer should be somewhere around your estimate. On the next page. On the next page, I kind of set up the problems for you in the standard algorithm. You go ahead and put the estimates on the lines above that as well. And I kind of gave you a few hints here on this bottom part with the word problems. For this one, Mr. Jansen is building an ice rink in his backyard that will measure 8.4 meters by 22 meters. What is the area of the rink? And remember, for area, we multiply length times width. So you're going to go ahead and multiply this together, move your decimal to the correct spot, and then you're going to put that in here with a nice sentence answer. Down here, Rachel runs 3.2 miles each weekday and 1.5 miles each day of the weekend. How many miles will she have run in 6 weeks? Okay, so 6 weeks is, and remember, it's just weekdays. So there's 5 weekdays and 6 of them. So 5 times 6, that's where I got my 30 here from. Okay, over here. And then each day of the weekend, there are 2 days in a weekend times 6, and that's where we